Welcome to Neighbors, where people from around the greater Chicagoland area, Wisconsin, Northwest Indiana, and Michiana come together to connect. They talk about their families, neighborhoods, cities, towns in which they live, as well as the organizations they're a part of. Today, we would like to welcome Breanne Zolfo, who is the owner of Cafe Fresco in Crown Point, Indiana, and Barbra Muckel, the executive director of Dreams Chasers of Northwest Indiana. Welcome to our show, ladies. And Kelly's giving you both a whoop whoop. So,
That's right.
well, we're so glad that you guys could connect with us today. We're kind of excited. So what I thought we'd do is start out with Breanne. If you'll tell us a bit about yourself, your family, and where you live, and a bit about Cafe Fresco.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for having us. So I grew up in Crown Point, Indiana. My parents both work in the area. My mom's a second grade teacher in Cherville, and my dad owns the yoga room in Crown Point. I'm the oldest of two brothers, and that's why I knew when I wanted to open my business, I knew it would be in Crown Point because I was born and raised here, and I wanted to keep it within the community.
Sure.
So we just celebrated our 7th year of the cafe, and it's been good years.
Yeah, and for people, and the thing about it is, it's just not a cafe. And I'm finding that out more and more every day. I look at your Facebook page. I mean, you guys do some amazing outreach, and in fact, we're kind of surprised that Kelly and I have not run into you before. So, why don't you tell people a bit about the neat stuff that you do for the community?
So our organization is called Community Love, and every week we pick a person or an organization to give money to or donate supplies to or just help them in any way that we can. So we've been doing that for 7 years, and it's been cool to see all the community support that we've had and all the people that have helped us and stepped in and really given back to the community. It's been cool to see all the people rally together and just support that idea.
I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, it is, and
Thank you.
yeah, Kelly and I really think it's wonderful because we were the recipient of one of these bags just
Yes,
recently,
I
which we thought.
I can't believe you were.
Yeah, it's awesome. This is such a neat idea. I tell you, we were so touched when we got that bag. One that we were nominated for it. It goes to show all those people we send checks to, Kelly, paid off finally. No. Yeah. No, all kidding aside. No, we were touched that we got it, and the note inside was really, really heart-touching. So thank you for that. Thank you very much.
Well, and that's the reaction that we want. We just want people to know that they're appreciated, that they're loved, and they're supported now, and especially this time where people are feeling secluded or isolated or alone. We hope to be that for those people.
Oh, yeah, especially now. It couldn't be any better time than now when people need to know that someone's thinking about them out there. Because it's tough times. So we're going to circle back to you, Breanne. We would like to talk to Barb a bit about herself and where's she from, and talk about her family and where she's at. Barb?
Hi, thank you so much for having us on the show. And I can't tell you, I could not be more thrilled to be on the show with Breanne because I love her so much and what she does. And I actually got involved with Community Love. I was watching their posts and I thought, wow, this is really like a great organization. And Dream Chasers, not just here in Northwest Indiana, but the entire organization, we align ourselves with other organizations that have the same mission that we do. But I will go into that in a little bit. A little bit about me. I grew up in Hammond and Munster. My mom is from Chicago. My dad is from Hammond. And so I grew up in this area all my life. And but then I was married for several years, 26 years, lived in Michigan, and then moved back to this area in '06. I have a 27-year-old son who is the inspiration for everything I do, Dream Chasers. related, and he lives and works in he lives in Romulus, Michigan, and we have another connection because Breanne's brother lives close to him in Ypsilanti, Michigan. So we have this kind of weird connection with our families and things. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So my background is for 30 plus years was in dentistry, and when my son went off to college, and he's an only child, so I felt like I hit a brick wall going at about 100 miles an hour. And a friend of mine said, you should get involved in something that has to do with kids, and you love kids, and you should coach. And so I did. I started doing that, and then realized that there wasn't anything specific for boys. And being a boy mom, I'm all about empowering women, of course. But there wasn't anything specific for boys. So after a bit of research, I found an organization that was called Excel to Fitness, and it was just for boys. And so I reached out to the founder, Stephen Vaughn, and that was in fall of 2015. And as of March of 2016, I became the executive director for the Northwest Indiana chapter. Since then, we rebranded, thus why we are Dream Chasers, because our mission is to empower all children and build their character through activity-based, fun activity-based activities, and to overcome obstacles to chase their dreams. So in 2019, we rebranded, became now Excel Fitness became Dream Chasers, and we added girls to the program. And not only are we an after-school program, but we also have an in-school curriculum. So I have seen quite an evolution in this organization since I started in 2016.
Wow, that's great.
It's amazing. It's awesome.
It's an awesome organization.
Well, Breanne is actually also another great connection that we have is Breanne is one of our coaches at Timothy Ball Elementary in Crown Point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I've got to say here, so just so our viewers and listeners will know this, the whole concept of this show is to bring people together that may not know each other from across the area that we have viewers. And lo and behold, I not only picked best friends, but you love each other immensely. And I'm like, okay, I guess, I was always the guy that showed up to the party late and introduced people that already knew each other. So there you go. So
the universe works in mysterious ways.
Yes, it does. But it's all good. It's all good.
Well, I'm going to tell you, too, that connected in all of this, speaking of her coaching at Timothy Ball, so over a year ago, a woman reached out to me to have it have the program at the school, and I said, "Great, let's get it started at the school." And she said, "Yes, my husband and I would like to coach." And I said, "Okay, that's great." So they started the team in the spring of 2019. And at Timothy Ball, and it was Jay and Mary Pachin, and they own McFly's. Mary has now not only McFly's Gentleman Shop in Crown Point. Mary's not only was a coach, she is my development director, and she is literally my right-hand person. And those two are also connected with community love, and it's crazy connection. I absolutely just love it.
Great.
Yeah, so it's a great. So when we talk a bit about in the times that we are in right now, I mean, I hate to be so cliche about this, but I mean people keep on saying this is the worst time ever to either be in a business or just to be anyone. So why don't you guys tell us how this has affected you all, and you personally and your organizations?
Breanne, you want to go first?
Yeah, Breanne, go ahead.
For me, it's been cool to see, like, so we've had community love for 7 years now, but like to see more people stepping up and stepping in during this time has been cool, because I see like there's so much good in the world, and I think that this time, as unfortunate as it is, it's really shed light on like how many good people there are and how many people there are that just want to give back and want to help out. And I think that's been cool for me to see, because in a time where you could see so much bad and so much destruction, so much negativity, it's really brought about so many positive things that I've witnessed, and just seeing the community really come together to support each other. So for me, that's been awesome. Of course, like the businesses are not doing well, the small businesses are struggling, but you're seeing even more people step up and step in to just like support one another.
Right. And how was this all affected Cafe Fresco? I mean, the coffee side. I mean, you guys, besides doing wonderful things in the community, you do have a coffee shop.
Yeah, I always say I do coffee on the side. I do community love full time and coffee on the side. But it's obviously drastically impacted our business. There's not that many people coming out. There's not that many people getting curbside or delivery. So it's had a big impact on our business and on the square in general, just with the less foot traffic and less people coming out of their houses.
Yeah.
But I think that's why that community love has been so important to people recently, is because it gives them something to look forward to, and it gives them something positive to do. So
Right.
it's that support that'll keep us going.
Yeah, definitely. You see these neat signs popping up, like in Michigan City, Valparaiso, Michigan City. It's Michigan City Strong. And other sign I saw the other day is in Lowell. Someone sent it to me, is we're going to get through this together. Just some real uniting type of statements across the region, which is really, really neat to see. And it's unfortunate we're going through these times to bring that out, but it is interesting to see that the first reaction of a lot of people is, hey, let's work together. And I've seen efforts to help small businesses, waitresses. There's several fundraisers for waitresses out there that and waiters and bartenders to help them out during this time. So, and that happened shortly after the stay-at-home order went in effect. So,
Yeah.
Barb, what about you? What about the organization? How has this affected you?
Well, first of all, I want to say that just the name Community Love tells you right there what that organization is about and how it's brought all kinds of love to the
Right.
community. And this is why I love being a part of that. So we were we were actually in the middle of registration, because our program is a 6-week long program, 2 sessions per week for 6 weeks. And we were just in the middle of registration when, they started closing schools and saying that, there was no more school. So obviously our season was canceled, and our big event that we have at the end of the 6 weeks, which is called the Dream Chaser Challenge, was canceled. It is an obstacle course race that we host for our participants, and now we're adding their families can run the obstacle course. We're including community members also that want to run the course, but that obviously was canceled because it was scheduled for the beginning of May. But that's okay, because we're just ramping everything up for the fall season. So of course, the season was canceled, and but that doesn't stop Dream Chasers, because we're all about overcoming obstacles to chase our dreams. Mm-hmm. So as devastating as this is in the world, the entire world, Dream Chasers organization, which was originated in Charlotte, North Carolina, our founder and our Vice President of Operations, Jason Pavlicek, and our founder, Stephen Vaughn, came up with something really unique. And I don't know if it was unique, but it's awesome. And it's not like everything else that's out there. So what they did was they took our after school curriculum, our in-school curriculum, and our activities in our sessions in the lessons, and they combine them into a free activity-based online source for families, for our participants, for everyone. It's not just for our participants, teachers, schools, coaches, everyone and anyone has access to this at dreamchasers.org/free. And it's every day they put something new on there. So we're now going into, we've had 4 weeks of sessions, and every day there is a learning section, there's a challenge section, and there's a create section. And like week 1 was all about you, and don't change who you are to fit your dream or to fit a dream. The dream is, it fits you already. That was like the theme of within week 1. In week 2, it was about your dreams. Dreams give you direction and purpose. So everything that week focuses on that. Week 3 focused on challenges. We're all about the obstacles, and this is a huge obstacle in our world. So they focused on the obstacles. And week 4 was about the tools that you have in your immediate possession, in your life, in your family, in your home. And we're all about the passion, teamwork, about grit. So every day is something new, exciting, and challenging for everyone and anyone at any age. And that's how we're dealing with the COVID situation.
Yeah, and it is a challenge because you never know when they're going to face something like this in the future,
Exactly.
or how long this is going to last. So,
Exactly.
but
Exactly.
it is. So, what are you witnessing? How the reaction of the people are involved in your program? What are any of them like? Are you showing signs of duress or stress, or are they anxious to just go on to the next step? How are they reacting to it?
Well, as a mother, I can honestly say that my heart breaks for these kids that, you know, they want to be in school. They want to be with each other. They want to be with their teachers. A lot of my coaches are teachers. Some are parents, some are members of the community. And they love their teachers. They love their coaches. They want to be, socially, they want to be with each other. And they love when they're together as a Dream Chaser team. We're all about teamwork and working together. So I know that there's a lot of stress out there and a lot of anxiety. And for kids, it's scary enough for adults. So I'm positive that there are kids that have having a lot of anxiety over this. So we're asking our coaches and parents this is something that our online program is sparking and initiating conversation within the home and within how everybody within the home can get through these obstacles. And what I'm hoping at least, is that our participants are going to step up as leaders within their families and say, hey, mom, hey, dad, or, the big brother or little sister, how many jumping jacks can you do in 30 seconds? Let's go, let's do it. So that would be part of the challenge portion of the day.
Yeah.
And take it as, and start developing we're going to start seeing and developing their leadership through these online activities.
Awesome. So, yeah, and this is all done online, and the interaction is online, and that's, I guess, part of the obstacle is try to find out what you can do to keep active and stay connected. So, man,
Excellent.
Oh man. So, Breanne, talk to us a bit about the customers that you do have. I mean, you do. I mean, how are they interacting with you? I mean, you're doing curbside service right now for coffees and stuff, right? So, I mean,
So we have curbside and delivery.
Mm-hmm. Do you get a lot of people calling up for gift certificates?
Yeah, so that was when we first originally, when the governor's new order came for restaurants about the curbside and delivery. That was one of the ways that people first stepped up, was buying online gift certificates, because they knew that there would be drastic changes to the business and they really wanted to support the small businesses. And so that was a huge way that they first supported us when the governor put the new order in effect.
And so they could just call up your business line, or do you have an online way of buying a gift certificate?
Yeah, we put out the online link, and I had seen a lot of small businesses doing the same at that time, just saying, like, this is a way you can support us right now to get us through this tough time. And then when we're fully operational, you can use the gift card. And so I saw a lot of people supporting small businesses through that way.
Yeah. And I suppose the square looks completely different now.
The ghost town now, it's very eerie.
Yeah, and as someone showed a picture of Chicago, I mean, I've never remember except getting up early one day and taking a walk in downtown Chicago when happened to be there for a conference. And boy, there was a dog roaming the streets, and it was no one, absolutely no one. And it reminds me of a science fiction movie somehow. Yeah, and
Well,
that
that's what's been eerie, because you can feel that we're in a different time right now, just by seeing, like, the streets, how much more empty they are now.
hmm So your groups, obviously they're using something like, both your groups are using something like Zoom to stay connected and communicate. And
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
and how, I mean, how does that work for you? I mean, is there still a need for connection, or I mean, are people even getting stressed out with using the technology?
I think that people are craving connection even more now. So I think, like, we've been doing a lot of virtual events on Zoom. So we had an open mic night and then our pop-up shop, and we're doing trivia night. And people crave connection now more than ever. So I think not just for meetings and one-on-one interactions, but for actual events, they want something to look forward to, and they want different things that make it feel like it's the old normal. And so
Absolutely. We and I have two board members, a development director and a grant writer, and that's how we stay connected. Also, is we schedule our board meetings, and which is so much fun because we're all very very tight knit, and we have a great time. And the other EDs within Dream Chasers across the United States, that's how we stay connected. Also, we have a once a month online Zoom meeting. So Zoom's awesome.
Yeah.
And these virtual type, meetings and things are amazing. And that's why I feel that the kids, like our kids, and thank goodness these teachers are able to do that
Mm-hmm.
with the children and with the classrooms. I know the kids they crave that socialization. As an extreme extrovert, I'm craving that extreme. I mean, I love, being social. Breanne knows, and it's tough, and I feel
Yeah.
bad for the children.
I know Kelly, who just something happened. She left the conference, but she's a physical person, has got to hug. She's got to see her friends. And hey, it's tough on her. And yeah, and with me, I just, my friends and I have always stayed connected with technology anyway. In fact, we used it as our means of staying connected. So it just was natural for me. But I hear about people, even though they have the technology, they're still stressed out because they need that physical interaction. And so that then, and like the kids, I've talked to a couple of the kids that are using Zoom, and they're just not getting the information they need out of the teacher. And the teachers on the flip side of the coin that we've talked to said, they're hands-on teachers, and this being disconnected, they could see the kids, but they're having to adopt a completely different classroom management style. And so a lot of them are going through rough times, and they were hoping that they would just disengage the rest of the year, but that's not going to happen. And hope that they could reconvene at the beginning of next school year. So what do you, I mean, hopefully we're going to be over this soon. I saw some scary numbers, and in fact we stopped reporting them as a media outlet. It's like, okay, you guys know where to get the stuff now. We're not going to do it. we're going to let all these people that take great pride in being on the Indiana Health Department site, and the minute there's a new infection or something, they're reporting it. And in a way, don't you feel like that is having even a more drastic effect on people, that they're like, I don't know. To me, it's morbid, and that's why we stopped doing it. And so, what do you feel like the mental impact to your customers, to the people who are in this just being constantly exposed to this barrage of negativity?
Well, I think that's why it's important now to focus on the positive. Like I said earlier, it's because we're focusing on the positive and focusing on all the good we're seeing in the world that we're able to keep doing what we're doing, because we can't let it bog us down. We have to just keep helping the community and giving back to the community, and just focus on that, because I know that it's a really tough time for a lot of people and everyone's struggling. But at the end of the day, we're all in this together and we're all going through the same struggle. We just have to find positive outlets and positive ways of thinking just to get through this together and help each other out.
Right. And keep positive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'd like to add that I think, and I'm an extremely positive person, and I'm always trying to pull, every day, pull a positive out of, especially the situation now. But I'm praying, and I hope, and we're really stressing to families because we're blasted 24/7 with all of this, whether it's on your phone or your tablet or your TV or whatever it is. And I think this is a chance now for people to take that away, get it away from it, and get the face in front of your child and be active go out in the backyard and dance, or put on some music and have a dance party in your living room, which, mind you, I'll do that. I do that in my garage during my workout. Okay. So
Barbara had a dance party on the square last week. So that's what she's referring to.
That's great. Yeah. Have you seen those?
Little dream chasers.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Yeah. We love we love those, the sing-alongs that they've been having. Everyone decides, okay, we're going to go out in our balcony and sing. There was one, I can't think of the guy that took over the on Comedy Central, that took over for Colbert, but he said, you know what, they did this in Italy, so I think we could do it here in New York. So he started singing a song, and next thing you hear, would you shut the hell up? But it is... we thought about doing it, and I'll tell you what we're doing here as far as the Bill and Kelly Show. We reached out to every musician we could find and said, we would love to have you guys play on our show every day of the week. And so this week we've got three awesome musicians. We had Lou of the Chris and Lou. Came on last week. Oh man, talking about knocking it out of the park. In fact, actually, it helped him out. He was going through some really big time depression, and this is a guy that, him and his partner Chris formed the Mega Beatles with the Craw Puppies. I mean, and I've never heard this guy be, and he ended up thanking me for doing this, because he had not touched the keyboard or guitar. And then we have our llamas. Yeah, so we had a llama takeover. Everyone else is talking about takeovers. As far as I know, we've had the only llama takeover. Yeah. And you know what? Everyone loves llamas. I don't care, but it's just, we've just trying to find positive things to keep people engaged. And so we knew this couple that own a llama farm out in LaPorte. So we had them, and they went through with their phone and took pictures of all their llamas and all the other barn animals they had. And so, there's things like that we're changing our mind, what we, and it's just like trying to come up with stuff that keep.
You have to.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And
You absolutely have to. And this is a time where it's there's no excuses not to, I don't know, clean a closet or rearrange your kitchen or
Yeah.
or dance with your kids or read a book. There's no excuse not to do that. So
Yeah.
it's hard. It is a very difficult time, and people are having difficulties financially, emotionally, spiritually, all of that. And that's why organizations like Community Love are amazing, why people like Breanne are doing amazing things, and why Dream Chasers wants to and will continue to align ourselves with these positive organizations within the community. Why I love Jay and Mary with McFly's, because he's reaching out and for donations for his barbers. I mean, it's not fun, it's for their barbers. That is amazing to me, and I love having us align with that. And we're teaching our participants and their families, and it's reaching out to others to do that. This is the time that we have to focus on what we can do together, not only as a family, but as a community, as a town, as a state, as the whole country, come together to do this good.
Yeah. Talking about barbers, that is one thing. They got impacted immediately. And yeah, I think before this is all said and done, we're all going to end up looking like hippies. Seriously. I'm going to have a pony. I'm going to have a ponytail. I'm going to be rocking a ponytail, and Kelly's going to be wearing her hair back. Yeah, I think we're going to go all back to the 70s look, right? Yeah. Bring back the bell bottoms.
Yes, sir. I wasn't going to cut my own bangs. When I saw her last a few weeks ago, I promise I will not do that. But yeah, so it's amazing though, and that's why as Dream Chasers we just continue to align ourselves with the good. And why we continue to align ourselves with community love. And this was the perfect opportunity to, I think, for both our organizations to show how we work together and how we're all aligned with that, and how much I love her way more, I think, than she loves me. No, I'm just kidding.
Stop it.
No, I know. And we just love being aligned along.
Yeah, I mean, you guys.
Well, and that's what's cool, because I see like the kids on Dream Chasers and how much they're impacted by the program, and like how much success they see in like the kids' personalities, and just to see like they're starting these kids at young ages, like instilling these ideas and these like personality traits in them, and just to see like watch these kids transform season after season, you know, and like that's the little version of community love, is seeing it in these little kids that are like passionate and motivated and determined, and these are what young kids in elementary school.
Yeah, and we're seeing that a lot too. That some of the there's a generation that came through that that was just totally self-centered and centristic. But I'm witnessing these kids now, particularly elementary and middle school age, that are so connected to the community and together. I mean, and people draw an assumption about them. Well, it's the technology. No, these kids need physical interaction. I mean, and that's one of the struggles they're going through now that we talked about just a little while ago. That they've been using Zoom as the classroom, but they want to be with their friends, and they want to do things. And we've just seen some growth out of this upcoming generation that is just unbelievable. I mean, good, unbelievable. It's connected to community, wanting to do things for other people that they don't know. And I don't know how that evolved, but it's a good evolution, and I hope it keeps going. I do want to share something with you. Breanne, you can't see this, but I mentioned our friends that have a llama farm out in LaPorte. So we kid with them back and forth, and right away after we found out that we probably should be wearing masks if we go out in public areas. So someone made these llama masks for them, and so I was telling Kelly, okay, that's a throwdown. That they can't be going around sporting those fancy designer masks. So we just had, oh man.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Those are so cute.
We now have the Bill and Kelly Show face masks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, and well, the llama ones are, I've got to say, and I hope Chad and Nancy aren't listening because we want to think we still have one up on them, but you got to, we're about to concede, yeah, to have a llama on your mask is totally cooler than having the Bill and Kelly show. But I mean, why
Barb,
not?
we gotta make masks now. We gotta get custom masks.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what I'm going to tell you? I saw online the other day how to make a mask with two like ponytail holders and a bandana.
Mhm.
So I grabbed my Dream Chasers bandana and folded it up,
Oh, yeah.
printed it, and took a picture and sent it to the other EBs. And right across it said, Dream, and then the Chasers was kind of like up here. But I thought, oh my God, here we go. This is a new normal. We're all going to have our logos on masks and things. Here's a positive. Let's pull that.
Yeah.
Positive out. If that's what we have to do, then that's what we have to do.
Yeah. Well, when we first started doing them, because we didn't have masks, they're hard to get because they should be going to the hospitals. So I cut up some of my old T-shirts and gave one to Kelly, and she wore it. But she said, "You know what? This smells too much like you. I don't like it." Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's why I had to go out and get these made, so she would have a mask that doesn't smell like me. So, oh boy. Well, listen, I don't want to keep you guys too much longer, but man, hats off to you guys. You're doing some wonderful work. And
Thank you.
yeah, Breanne, yeah, it's just amazing. We've always heard about what you're doing, but it's like opening up the shell. And as soon as we got the bag, I said, we're going to find out exactly what they do, because I heard about the free coffee and things. And then I started looking. I said, oh my gosh. This is like a community center. It's not a coffee shop. It's a community center. There are food bags going out, hygiene products going out. I'm like, holy moly! It's so Breanne, hats off. I mean, you get our. If we had a bag to send out, you'd be getting one right now, but we don't. So, but maybe if this becomes a thing, you may get a Bill and Kelly show face mask.
Oh,
Okay.
That would be awesome.
Okay. I'll take one for sure.
Yeah.
I'm your
Well,
first customer.
she is for sure an angel on earth. I'm going to tell you, I love being connected with her. She's an angel on earth.
Oh, she is. Yeah, we've seen that.
Listen to Barb. She's always so sweet.
And Barb, the tremendous amount of work that I've heard, it took me a little while to understand what you guys were doing, but it's kind of giving these kids life skills so that they can pursue the next level, and so they get them beyond any excuse they may have to pursue their dreams, which I think is awesome. Both your organizations combined are amazing. So keep up the great work. And is there anything you want to leave, a statement or anything you want to leave before we go?
Yes.
Barb, you want to go first?
Sure. We love our saying, be you, dream big, and keep chasing. So to be you, develop a healthy self-worth and sense of value, dream big, believe you have a meaningful purpose and immense potential, and keep chasing, building your knowledge, ability, and confidence to face and overcome life's challenges. That's what Dream Chasers is all about.
Yeah, that's great. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Breanne?
They were all in this together.
Yeah.
We got this.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, together we will get through this. And I wholeheartedly feel that we will. So
thank you.
With that, gosh, I can't tell you how much I appreciate this. And I wish I could have said this was by design, but it wasn't. It's just another Billism. It's just like, I do things like this all the time. So I'm glad that I did bring two people together that definitely do like each other. So I guess it wasn't all that bad.
Oh, I like Barb.
So
Breanne, I'm holding up a heart here. My hand's in a heart. I love you. I love you so much. Thank you so much, Bill and Kelly. Thank you for this.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you. And you guys keep on doing what you're doing. We love you guys. So
thank you.
With that, we'll say goodbye for now. Have a great day. Stay safe, guys.
This episode of the Bill and Kelly Show is brought to you by Executive Suite Squared by ATG, offering private and shared office space with 24/7 secured access, 3 state-of-the-art conference rooms, shared lounge and cafe area, receptionist, printing center, and fiber optic internet access with Wi-Fi throughout. Conveniently located just south of 8094 at the Kennedy Avenue exit at 2901 Carlson Drive in Hammond, Indiana. For information on how you can become a member, go to executivesuites2.com or call 219-844-2901. Executive Suites Squared, home to the Bill and Callie Show.